as it happens. And now to our top story this afternoon. Anti-government protests resumed this morning in various parts of the country, with clashes in Mathare and Kibra in Nairobi and demonstrations in Kisumu and Migori. In Nairobi, a 29-seater matatu was attacked and burnt to ashes. A truck was also burnt along the southern bypass in Mathare. Protesters overpowered police and barricaded Juja Road. We're now going to start with Ayub Abdikadir, who is at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Center here in Nairobi. Ayub, what is the latest? You've been following the convoy from earlier today. You gave us an update earlier of where it snaked its way through, coming from Lavington, Kawangware, Limuru Road, down to Kiambu Road. What is happening where you are as of now? Who is there and what are they saying?
Well, Lillian, afternoon from the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation here at Upper Hill, where a battery of lawmakers of the Azimio coalition are here, and their presence means that they are going to be addressing a news conference shortly. And as you have mentioned, the dispatching of the lawmakers this morning who wanted to access and deliver a petition at the office of the president meant that they regrouped in Lavington at an undisclosed location before we managed to keep track of them. Then we sneaked through Kawangware before branching off to Wayaki Way, then to Limuru Road and in Kiambu Road, where police managed to scatter the lawmakers who had regrouped again here at this center to address the country on what they say are some of the pressing issues that they have underscored are the very pillars of the anti-government protest that they have called for. Now, the interesting bit about this protest today on the 2nd of May is that we haven't yet located the presence of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga or the Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka. However, in the morning we saw the presence of Martha Karua, the NAK Kenya Party leader, the DAP Party Kenya Party leader Eugene Wamalwa, and the Roots Party of Kenya leader George Wajakoya. We expect them to address a press conference here in the next few minutes as to what transpired this morning. No, of course, major police protesters confrontation we did witness before branching off and regathering again here with my colleagues, and at the moment gearing up for this press conference, Lillian. And of course, as you have mentioned, some of the other aspects included the violence that was witnessed along Ngong Road on a day that the opposition said was the restarting of the opposition mass anti-government protest to pressure the government to address the cost of living crisis. What we expect here, the leaders to address, will be, of course, the police presence, which was huge across the city and the major roads that fed the central business district, which was the epicenter of the standoff between the opposition and the government. Odinga and Azimio saying they will access the CBD. President William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua saying that we bear the responsibility of protecting lives and businesses of the Kenyan people. Therefore, we have seen the presence of the Secretary General of the ODM party, as well as the Senator Nairobi County, Edwin Sifuna here, the Minority Leader of the National Assembly, Opiyo Wandayi, among other lawmakers who are here. And their presence, therefore, is an indication that they are going to be addressing the nation on what they feel has happened today and taking an account of the protest that they called for this morning on the 2nd of May, following what they say is the end of the Easter holidays and the holy month of Ramadan, to pressure the government of the day in addressing some of the pressing problems of the Kenyan people and seeking accountability from the government, in which President William Ruto is the president.
And Ayub, you mentioned that you haven't been able to locate Raila Odinga or Kalonzo Musyoka. Were you able to ascertain who was in the convoy earlier on as you were taking us through where it was headed? Were you able to find out whether or not they were part of the convoy at that point?
Well, we did independently verify that Odinga and Kalonzo weren't part of the members who were in the convoy, but the presence of Senators Stewart Madzayo, the Senator Kilifi County, Nairobi County Senator Edwin Sifuna, the National Assembly Minority Leader Opiyo Wandayi, who as well as the Ugunja lawmaker. We also had the presence of other lawmakers, including Robert Mbuyi of Kadhiani constituency. We also had the presence of other lawmakers from the county government of Nairobi who are elected on Azimio ticket, and therefore it more or less looked like a well-planned strategy by the opposition in ensuring that some of the leaders, including the party leaders, remain behind, and therefore that convoy is what the police managed to track before we branched off from Sarit Center heading to Kiambu Road, and the police managed to scatter the leaders. And therefore, when we managed to make some calls to some of the leaders in managing to keep track of them, here is the point that we have been referred to, and the reference point where we are at the moment waiting for the press conference. Interestingly, we have been unable to locate the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and the Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, but we did manage to see the presence of Martha Karua and George Wajakoya and Eugene Omalwa in Lavington, but they were never part of the convoy that we had tracked this morning.
Right, we are keeping tabs on what is happening at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation there in Upper Hill.